Title: Best Lenses for Figure Photography. Module: Camera Fundamentals. If the camera is the body of photography, then the lens is the eye. In fine art figure photography, the lens you choose has a greater impact on your final image than almost any other technical decision. Different lenses do not just change how close or far a subject appears. They change perspective, emotion, and how the human body is interpreted within the frame. One of the most commonly used lenses in figure photography is the 50mm lens. Often called a normal lens, it closely resembles the natural perspective of human vision. It creates a balanced and realistic sense of space without heavy distortion. This makes it ideal for both portraits and simple figure studies where the goal is natural representation. The 85mm lens is another favorite among fine art photographers. This lens compresses perspective slightly, bringing facial features and body proportions into a more elegant visual harmony. It also allows for a comfortable working distance between photographer and subject, which can help create a more relaxed atmosphere during a session. The background often becomes smoother and more blurred, allowing the subject to stand out with clarity and softness. For environmental figure photography, wider lenses such as 35mm or even 24mm can be used. These lenses include more of the surrounding space, making the environment an important part of the composition. When used carefully, wide-angle lenses can create powerful storytelling images where the body interacts with architecture, landscapes, or natural elements. However, they must be used with awareness, as they can distort proportions if used too close to the subject. Many fine art photographers prefer prime lenses over zoom lenses. Prime lenses have a fixed focal length, which encourages more intentional composition. Instead of zooming in and out, the photographer must physically move and re-evaluate the scene. This often leads to stronger framing and a more thoughtful connection with the subject. Aperture is another important factor when selecting a lens. Lenses with wide apertures such as f1.4, f1.8, or f2 allow for shallow depth of field, creating soft, blurred backgrounds that isolate the subject. This can be particularly effective in figure photography, where the focus is often on form, light, and emotion rather than background detail. However, shallow depth of field should not be used automatically. In some cases, greater depth of field is more appropriate, especially when the relationship between the body and its environment is important. The choice of aperture should always serve the artistic intention of the image. Another consideration is lens rendering. Every lens has a unique character. Some produce very sharp, clinical images, while others create softer, more organic results. Some lenses handle highlights and contrast in a dramatic way, while others produce subtle tonal transitions. Understanding how your lens draws the image helps you use it more intentionally. In figure photography, working distance is also important. Longer lenses like 85mm or 105mm allow the photographer to step back physically. This can help create a more comfortable and respectful space between photographer and subject, which often leads to more natural expressions and poses. It is also important to remember that no single lens is best for all situations. Each focal length offers a different way of seeing. A 50mm lens might be perfect for intimate portraits, while a 35mm lens may better capture a body interacting with its environment. An 85mm lens might be ideal for elegant, sculptural studies of form. The key is not to search for the perfect lens, but to understand how each lens shapes perception. Once you understand this, you begin to choose lenses based on meaning rather than habit. Some of the most powerful fine art photographs were created with a very simple setup, one camera and one or two carefully chosen lenses. The strength of the image came not from equipment variety, but from clarity of vision. In the end, lenses are not just optical tools. They are creative instruments that shape how the viewer experiences the human form. And when used with intention, they become a bridge between technical precision and artistic expression.